This week on the Band Review with Jerry Thunder. We have the Australian adrenaline junkies, Airbourne. You won't want to miss it, so don't go anywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to a man who needs no introduction, probably because most of you have done it with him.
No way! That's Jerry Thunder!
He's a prophet, a poet, a genius, the leader of the revolution. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you, I make you laugh.
You're the retarded offspring of 5 monkeys having butt sex with a fish squirrel. Congratulations.
Damn, that stuff is good. Man, I haven't heard something that adrenaline pumping in a long time. Personally, it's great to hear something like that. The first sample you heard was off Airbourne's first album, Running Wild. That song was called Stand Up for Rock and Roll. And I give you a little bit of a chance to hear the growth because that was their latest single in the second sample called Live It Up. And that's off the upcoming album, Black Dog Barking. I'm actually really excited for it. I've seen this band every single time I've had the chance. And they have never, ever even come close to disappointing. What you get when you see this band is just, you see these guys, they're up there, they're like the Wild Child. It's like a hybrid of AC/DC meets Motley Crue. Actually, that's the biggest knock I've ever heard on this band, is they sound too much like AC/DC. And last I recall, since when is sounding like AC/DC a bad thing? They're one of the best-selling bands of all time. They're one of the most popular bands ever. They're legendary. Since when is it bad to sound like a legend? I don't think it's ever bad to sound like a legend. So you know what? I say forget those people that keep on saying, oh, they sound too much like AC/DC. They're impersonators. You know what? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's just people that can't stand that this sound is coming back. It's people who want to live in the past. And there's nothing wrong with AC/DC. Don't get me wrong. They're one of my all-time favorite bands. I love bands from the past. But they just don't want that sound to be taken by a different generation. That's all I think. The riffs are very similar. The sound is similar. But that's what you get when you use raw effects, or no effects, in other words. Because what these guys are using are just straight Gibson guitars and just straight Marshall amps. That's exactly what AC/DC did, and that's why the sound is similar. When you're using stock guitars and stock amps, you're going to get the same sound if you don't do anything different. But you know what? That's what rock and roll's about, man, is it's all about that raw power. It's just the instrument, the amp, and the singer. That's all it is, and that's all AC/DC was, and that's why people compare the two. But now a little bit of information on the band itself. The band was started in Melbourne, Australia. When I first met them, I asked them where they got their name Airbourne because they spelled it a little bit funky. Air spelled normally, B-O-U-R-N-E. I was like, well, why do they spell it that way? So I asked them, and they said they took the Bourne from Melbourne and just tossed it on air, and that's how they got the name. So that was pretty interesting. That's how I first found out that they were from Australia. That's probably another link that they have between AC/DC, is they're such a similar sounding band from Australia, they assume that they're just copycats. There's nothing wrong with taking your idols and letting them influence your style. Another thing, this band has followed a very similar path to AC/DC because it was founded by two brothers, Joel and Ryan O'Keefe. Joel being the lead singer and guitar player, Ryan being the drummer. They started the band way back when they were kids, just like Angus and Malcolm did. And you know what? They're taking similar paths, man. I like that. And they're playing hard rock, which is great to see. And you can actually, if you haven't seen these guys or heard of these guys, you can check them out. They're on tour right now in the United States. I believe they're touring with Shinedown, at least for a couple shows, because Shinedown's on tour for their new album, Amaryllis. Part of the reason why this band is so successful in my mind is because it's raw, because it's powerful, And what sold me on buying their first album, without even hearing any of their music, first of all, I liked the album cover. Secondly, I liked the way they branded it. The way Roadrunner Records branded that album was a genuine sell. They branded it as genuine sweat-dripping rock and roll. I read that and I was like, all right, man, I got to give this a shot. That's what sold me on it, and I think that is literally the best way to describe them. Hearing this band will make your pulse accelerate. It'll feel like you just took a shot of adrenaline right to the chest. You know, just like that scene in Get Him to the Greek.
Now I'm gonna stab you in the heart with this adrenaline needle. What? What?
Yes. Just like that. And that's what it kind of does to you. It makes you want to get up. It makes you want to move around, you know? It's not one of those bands that you just sit down and listen to. This is something that you'll hear in, like, sports arenas. You'll hear it even on, like, Madden games. Like sports video games where they're supposed to have, like, pump-up kind of soundtracks. This is where that's going to be. You've also probably heard some of their music on movie trailers. One of their songs was on the movie trailer for I Love You, Beth Cooper. And that was the movie with Hayden Panettiere. The song that they used on that soundtrack was Too Much, Too Young, Too Fast. And that was another great song off their first album, Running Wild. I highly recommend that you go get all three of their albums as soon as the third one comes out. For now, you can only get the two. And those two are Running Wild and No Guts, No Glory. Both of them are full of extreme pump-up songs. Kind of like the soundtrack to a fight, you know? After you listen to it, you just want to get up and you want to hit something in a good way. Not in like a Justin Bieber sort of way where you want to get up and either like commit suicide or go on a shooting rampage. And that's in the negative way. You'll find out soon enough. I make fun of Justin Bieber a lot because he is a sorry excuse for music and he is destroying what was once a great art. Anyway, let's return to the band at hand here, and that's Airbourne. I'll leave you with these final words about them. If you buy this band's albums, No Guts, No Glory, Running Wild, Black Dog Barking, you're sure to get music that will accelerate your pulse and make you drive faster than the speed limit. Much faster than the speed limit. Something that's going to get you a huge ticket. So be careful when you buy the albums. You'll get a speeding ticket. I know I have. You're going to get something that you won't hear too much anymore. You're going to get a band that through 3 albums has not released one ballad. Not one power ballad or anything like that. Not one soft song. This band is hard all the time. It's like if you took Viagra. A young person on Viagra, come on now. I don't know about you, but I mean, I know I don't need Viagra. And if someone like me took Viagra, like I said, hard all the time. You're not going to get anything soft out of this band. I think the words that describe them most are the words that Roadrunner Records gave them. Genuine, sweat-dripping rock and roll. And that's what the world is missing, and that's what this band is bringing to the table. So catch them on tour with Shinedown. Pick up their albums. Catch up on the back catalog. Go buy Runnin' Wild. It's an older album, but it's great. And pick up No Guts, No Glory. And then when you have a chance, pick up Black Dog Barking. That one's coming out soon. You won't be disappointed with any of these. They'll be the first songs you put on your pump-up list. That's all I have for you this week on The Band Review with Jerry Thunder.
No way! That's Jerry Thunder!
He's a prophet, a poet, a genius, the leader of the revolution. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you. I make you laugh.
You're the retarded offspring of 5 monkeys having blood sex with a fish squirrel. Congratulations.